obviously it's the shortest of short-term deals.
Yeah, I mean, a bit unusual, but the fact that we look at the schedule in December, and rather than just continuing where we were and just in terms of training, it was felt we'd got to the stage where maybe we could start to include Gary and be involved. Like everything, you're wanting to constraints, and you want to make sure that you're working within your budget, and it's an opportunity there potentially for Gary. Hopefully, if he shows up well in the next few weeks, we can maybe talk about trying to extend it a bit longer. But you know, it's my priority is maybe elsewhere in January, but I do like having Gary here, you know, and I'm trying to ideally get a bit of everything. And I think he's a type of player that can make the difference in a lot of tight games, especially. He's still a long way off to be able to play 90 minutes, but I think the only way to really get that is by playing competitive football and getting minutes on the pitch. So it's just an extension really of where he's been the last 6 weeks or so when he first came in, when I first spoke to Gary and offered him training facilities. So it might seem unusual as short as that, but it doesn't actually feel that way for us. You know, both him and I feel it's the right step, a sensible step where we are, and then we can review it once we get into the winter break. We can see where everybody's at in terms of finances and in terms of maybe extending that a bit longer. But really enjoying having him here, to be honest.
And I suppose is there an opportunity for him to see where he is in terms of, and you to see where he is in terms of match fitness and exposure to playing?
Yeah, I think I've got the benefit, and Gary's got the benefit because we've worked together, so I know what he's capable of. So and you know, he did very well for me previously, and I think that he's the type of player that if we can get him, and hopefully we can help him get on his way again and play, and in the meantime help us short term. And you know, I've no doubts he'll do well. Try to give him every confidence to go and be himself, and he's the type of player that, as I say, can make a difference. In a lot of the games I've said similar things, just looking for a wee bit more quality in that last pass. He's got all that in abundance, so if we can get that out of him over the next wee while, hopefully we can maybe look to extending the length of time he's with us.
Hugely experienced as well.
Well, he is. I mean, he still looks young, but he's 33, which is surprising when you see him. He's still very. He seems younger. He's got full enthusiasm. He's still got a great appetite for the game, and I think that's the important thing when you get into your 30s. Keeping those fires lit and having that motivation to keep doing well, not living off the past. And for me, when I speak to Gary, he still feels he's got lots to offer, so we're trying to give him that opportunity.
And the league is so tight, and a lot of games are so tight as well. Is that the kind of ideal player, like just get something a wee bit different, a tick here and there as well?
Yeah, like I say, in tight games, you know, we lost a tight game to a mistake here against Hearts. We've won a tight game at Pittodrie with a real moment of quality, and everybody's saying about how tight the league is. So yeah, absolutely, it's like he's capable of. He's a good finisher, Gary. He's always been a good finisher. He scored a number of goals for me at Aberdeen. He's had a good career, and he is capable of those moments. And with the schedules you mentioned in December, there's a lot there that's going to stretch a lot of people's squads. And we've got a few injuries ourselves at the minute, so getting another senior player in is a real benefit to myself.
Who are those injuries the guys went off?
Yeah, Brad Lyons and Liam Donnelly are struggling for the weekend, but we'll give them every chance to be fit. Hopefully we can get one, if not two, but you know, it's still a long way off. The game might come too quick for both lads. Rory McInnes actually picked up a wee knock as well, which isn't ideal. He never trained today. So we need to see how these guys all are tomorrow, really. And David Watts is suspended, so Gary Mackay-Steven might be playing centre midfield with the way it's going. So we're a wee bit light in that area. We've got Joe Wright, who's touch and go for the weekend as well, with a little calf problem that made him miss the last couple of games. Kel McInnes will come back to training next week, which is great. We have you working towards the Livingston game, which is great to have him back, and Ennis Cameron is the other one who's longer term.
You're the manager to beat Celtic so far domestically this season. What does it take to get something against them on Sunday?
Big performance, need almost everything to go right, real concentration, a high level of performance individually, but also sticking to what needs to be stuck to, really, to kind of frustrate. They've got good players, they've got match winners all over. Even when you see it last week, they're struggling against St Johnstone first half. second half they came out and created a number of opportunities and won the game in the end quite comfortably. But they've got those players when they're turned on and they're playing at their best and finding space, they can really hurt teams. So we feel that the reference for us is the last game and how much we did right in the game. I was really pleased with a lot of it. I was also pleased with a lot of what we got at Celtic Park, even though we lost the game. So we're going to have to be really competitive, going to have to be really good at our jobs, but hopefully we get a similar outcome. That is a good reference, the fact that we've done it before, and it shows what can be done, so hopefully we can do something similar.
Encouraged too with teams that are frustrated, Celtic and Motherwell a couple of weeks ago at Celtic Park.
Yeah, totally. I think most teams now, when they play Rangers and Celtic, feel there's a chance against them. I think I don't think I'm alone in that, and I think it's important that my players feel that as well going into the game on Sunday. So we're strong at home. Celtic have got obvious advantages over Kilmarnock, but we've got a lot of things that we can tap into. We're home form, the fact that a lot of teams don't like coming and playing here, and the fact we've beaten already this season, and the majority of those players who were part of that team will be involved again on Sunday.
I was going to say, how important is that from a mental aspect?
Well, it is. It's not even so much from my point of view, but more from my players. I think they have that approach and kind of mindset going into the game. It's like I say, it's all right me saying it. You're good enough to win a game and set them up in a way, but a lot of it is between the ears, really, about that confidence and that ability to go and take on the challenge. And hopefully, as I say, we can be good in all aspects. Physically, I think we'll be good because I think we're a really fit team. We finish games strong. I think tactically we'll be set up to try and do our best, get the best way of try to win the game. Give my players the best chance to win the game. But mentally is a huge part for a player individually, that we actually feel we can do this and we can have a wrestle with Celtic, knowing that we can win the game, and that's the outcome we're searching for. Not just a good performance, a couple of pats in the back and up the road. It's to try and win the game.
You mentioned as well, some teams don't like coming here. Is that something your players can reinforce in the first do at the start of the game, make it as uncomfortable as possible for them as well? That's
always a hope, but it's I think early stages of any game is very important. I think the first goal in any game is important. I think the first goal against a team like Celtic can give you so much oxygen and belief, particularly in front of your own fans. So hopefully we can do all that we need to do in the game, and that includes a strong start.